Some days I was a Christian, other days I was in the clubs. Yet still, he decided to choose me, call me, and anoint me. My 20s, how did I make it through? Let's talk about it. Hey, lovelies. Welcome to the Princess Fornah Network. I'm Princess Fornah, aka Pastor P. I'm going to try to release a video for you guys every week. I thought to myself, how can I help young people navigate through adulthood with my experiences and the little that I've learned about life so far? And so, you guys pray for your girl. I'm going to do my best. So, today I want to talk about how I made it through my 20s. I know most of you young folks that follow me are trying to, navigate through life, figure out what it is, where it is, and how it is that you're supposed to be doing this thing called life. Hopefully, my experiences and my little bit of knowledge will be able to help you guys cruise through a little easier. So let's get started. My 20s, it was crazy. I'm sure some of you that are going through right now can tell. But how did I make it through? So in my 20s, I was in the military, actually a United States veteran. I joined the Navy when I was actually 20. So my 20th decade, most of it, a chunk of it was spent in the Navy. So how did I make it through? Your 20s is a time where you are trying to figure out, who am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to be doing? There's a version of you that you actually are. There's a version of you that you're trying to be, and there's a version of you that people want or expect for you to be. I don't know about you, but anyway, that was my story. So there was this three versions of me that I was wrestling with. So how I was able to make it through, plus also let's add the fact that I was a Christian, but I was away from home for the first time in my life. I was in a whole different country, and yeah, it was a lot. So I think the first thing that helped me in navigating through my 20s is the fact that I had the seed or the foundation of Jesus Christ. So because of that foundation, that background of God, that godly background and godly upbringing that I had, a lot of the things that I wanted to do or that I was doing in my 20s, it was always like this still voice or this radar going off on the inside of me telling me, are you supposed to be doing this? Like, for example, in Japan, going to the clubs or drinking or, being with my friends. There was always this radar that would tell me, like, don't do too much. Are you sure you're supposed to be doing this or whatever it may be? But in my 20s, I was wrestling with wanting acceptance from my fellow shipmates, or in a civilian term, my friends. I was struggling with remembering the fact that I had responsibilities back home, in the States. I was helping to take care of my dad, our home, and bills and all of that, but still wanting to have a regular, normal life with my shipmates and with my friends. So it was a lot, but I felt like that upbringing was like that moral compass for me that was kind of keeping me in check. Like, okay, don't go too overboard, don't do too much, that kind of thing. I think another thing that helped me to get through my 20s was my friends, my shipmates, right? The company I keep, right? You're a reflection of the people you hang around. So let's say while I was out there, yes, I had that moral compass of a godly background and a godly upbringing, but also I had good friends who had good heads on their shoulders, who were future minded. Shout out to you, Iserine Weingart being one of them, who were going places. And so because I was around them, those type of friends, they also challenged me to stay focused, to stay grounded, and to stay on track. We were all trying to figure out adulthood. We were all trying to figure out what it is that we wanted to do in life, but we always encouraged each other. Some of them were not necessarily Christians per se, but like I said, they were level headed and they were future minded and future oriented. And so the days where I didn't want to show up for me, the days where I didn't feel like adulting, because well, as an adult, there are responsibilities, there are bills, it gets overwhelming. But having those friends, right, who were not all about just turning up and blowing funds and resources and who were thinking, hey, there's going to be a life outside of the military, after the military, there's going to be a life, after service. That helped me to stay grounded and, to push through my 20s.